Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of About EVs. I am Rob. This is Christine, my Model 3. Today what we're going to do is we're going to tackle ceramic coating. Do it yourself, yes. Now, why do they charge you $2,000 to do ceramic coating on a car? Well, because they're going to spend a lot of time doing paint protection work. And what does that mean? That means they're gonna go over your car with a light and a microscope, and they're gonna buff out any little scratch or imperfection in the car. It takes a lot of time. If you got a brand new car like I do, you can probably do all that yourself because the car's not gonna be that bad, really. It may have some small scratches on it when the dealer prepped it for you, but all in all, it's not going to be that bad. So you can do it yourself and save yourself about $2 grand. You can buy your own ceramic kit for about 130 bucks. And total cost is going to be about 130 bucks. You might want to buy a clay bar too. I'm going to go over everything. We're going to go over everything I got laid out here, and I'll walk you through the entire process as I do it. So stick around. It's coming right up. It's going to be a good one. All right, guys, here's the kit I got. I went with the kit from Adams and I laid it all out. It comes in a box like this. And if you're lucky, you will get this flashlight with it. I didn't, so I had to call them and say, hey, where's my flashlight? I got the UV kit. What that does is it's basically the same product. The product is, where did I hide it? Oh, back here. Kept it out of the sunlight. You're gonna get this product if you get the flashlight with a kit or not. So there's a UV additive into it. I guess that's an Adams exclusive. What that does is it allows you to see where you've applied it. So when you shine this light on it, and I'll demo it as I do it, you can see where the product's been applied. So what comes with the kit? You're getting the applicator blocks for the ceramic coating. You get some gloves to wear. You get a sticker. I got two because another one came with the light in the second shipment. I don't know what you're gonna do with those, but it's a freebie. Some swag there. You get two microfiber cloths, really nice soft ones actually, and you get another gray cloth. Now I had to ask them because, to be honest with you, the instructions that they give you, this pamphlet, is pretty useless. It doesn't give you any detailed instructions at all. So I asked them, it's like, what am I doing with these towels? What is for what? So here's the answer, so you guys don't also have to ask them. The microfiber towel number 1 you want to use with the surface prep. So this is the surface prep, which is it's basically an isopropyl alcohol mixture with some purple dye in it, because if you take the cap off, it's purple inside. So you're gonna prep the car with that. It takes off all the wax and polish. When you apply the ceramic coat, you want it to bond directly to the paint, so you don't want any of that crap on there. So microfiber towel number 1 is to use with that. Then these gray towels, there's 2 of them in here, you're gonna use that to buff off the ceramic coating. That's what I was told. Those are for the ceramic coating. And microfiber towel number 2 is going to be used with this ceramic boost they give you here. So after we apply the ceramic coating and we let it cure for 12 to 24 hours, then we're going to apply the boost, and we're going to use a soft microfiber towel to buff off the boost. So before you actually do any of this stuff, you have to prep the car, and it's called the paint protection. If you look it up, and you see a lot of detailers showing you how they do it. What I did is kind of a do-it-yourselfer paint protection. So number 1, they say you want to buff out all the scratches, and you can use a professional buffing wheel and buffing polish and invest hundreds of dollars into that equipment if you want to. But if your car's brand new like mine, it really hasn't seen much action yet. It's still only got 200 miles on it. The only real scratches I can see if you go around with a bright light and you look at it at every angle are some scratches that came along with the delivery and the transportation out to the East Coast here, I think. So it wasn't really that bad. You can see that I also have the caps off of the wheels because my plan is to ceramic coat these wheels as well. And I wanted to get underneath where the caps are, so I pulled those off for this. So back to the paint protection. What I did is just hand polished any buff. I buffed out and hand polished any scratches out of the car myself. What I used is this product here. It's Meguiar's Mirror Glaze. It's a it's the number 205. They make a bunch of different ones. This one is very, very gentle. So it's going to maybe take a few tries to get out any deeper swirl marks or scratches. I think in some cases I had to put it on and hand buff it and wipe it off and see how it looked. And sometimes it took like 4 or 5 times before the scratches were really down to a very minimum, where you really had trouble seeing them. So I just used that and I went around the car like, a dozen times and I kept looking for scratches, and I got it to the point now where I'm pretty happy with it. And that's really what you're looking for, is just to get to a point where you're happy with the car, because when you apply the ceramic coating, it's just gonna lock it in time. So however it is right now today is how it's gonna be for the next 3 years. Hopefully the ceramic coating will kind of put a hard shell coat on it and keep it that way. Keep it from getting scratched anymore. So the thing you want to do after that is clay bar it, and you really don't need to go too crazy on the clay bar if you haven't driven it that much. If you're just doing this and you have driving the car a lot, yeah, you're gonna have all kinds of grit and stuff on there, and that's what the clay bar is gonna take off any roughness in the paint. Could be from contaminants, it could be from anything, it could be bugs even. So what I use is Adams has a clay bar. It doesn't matter which brand you use. I have the Adams. I like the white one because you can see the crap it's taken off the car, and you can see when the clay bar actually needs to be cleaned off. You could just wipe it off with a towel. And then I don't use any fancy lube. I just use some detailing spray that I have, the Final Touch, which I really like. I actually have a whole gallon of it over here. Yeah. So I got a big supply of that, and that works great as a lubricant for the clay bar. I'll tell you a little trick on the clay bar. You can go around the entire car and clay bar the entire car if you want to, but in my case, it wasn't really necessary. You can just find the rough spots and clay bar it. You can spot clay bar it. And a little trick for that is take a plastic bag, right, like this, put your hand in it, then go around the car with the plastic bag on your hand, and you'll be amazed at how you can just pick up every little rough spot. It's like magic feel. You'll feel them right away. You spot clay bar that area, wipe it dry, feel it again, and you'll notice that it's clean and it's smooth and it feels great. So we polish out the scratches, we clay bar it. That's where we are now. So the next step here is going to be to apply surface prep. So we're gonna basically walk around it with the alcohol and clean off all the wax and the crap on the car. So that is next up. All right guys, about halfway through applying this stuff with this rag. I'm hoping this lasts actually, because it feels like there's maybe about half left, so I'm on pace to do the whole car. I got around the front bumper and I did this whole side, and I got around the other side, and hopefully this lasts because I still want to do the door jambs and the wheels. So if I don't have enough, I'll just switch to my other mixture about 25% isopropyl and distilled water. All right, back to work. All right, guys, I got around the car, but it used up all of this, and I don't have any left to do the wheels or inside the door jambs. So I'm gonna add my own mixture and finish it up, but just so you know, they just barely give you enough to get around the car. It does atomize it, so it's like spraying a perfume bottle on it. But they don't give you a lot. It's just barely enough. And if you want to do extra, then be prepared to make your own solution. I use about 75% distilled water and about 25% isopropyl alcohol. 70 or 90% is fine. It's the same mixture that you use to do the paint protection film. So if you haven't checked out that video, I'll put a link up here for it. And you can see how I did on that. So by the way, paint protection film, this car does have the front in PPF and behind the front and rear wheels and underneath the doors and the rocker panels there, all PPF. So I'm gonna ceramic coat right over all of it. That's the recommended thing to do. So that's kind of like a double protection. And yeah, so that's the plan. I cleaned all that too, just to make sure, prepped it with this, make sure there's no wax or anything on it. One thing I did find when I was applying this on the driver's side rear door, as I was applying this, it kind of takes the wax off. So if you do have any scratches or imperfections after you're using this, they're gonna show right up. And I saw some that I probably missed on the back door on the driver's side. So I just stopped applying this and I got out my polish and I spot polished those scratches out, and then I reapplied this to take the polish off. So it's pretty cool that you can, it's never too late until you put that ceramic coating on. You can still apply the buffing, and you can do spot scratch buffing if you need to, and then just clean it off with this stuff. All right, so let me do the wheels and the door jambs, and then we'll be on to the next segment. She's all prepped for ceramic coating. I did the wheels, I did all the door jambs, even inside the front and trunk. I'm not sure what I'm gonna actually ceramic coat, but I cleaned it all with the surface prep, and I had to use about a half a bottle of my own. So just so you know, you're gonna need more than they supply. So it's ready for the next phase, which is the ceramic coat, and let's get right into it. All right, guys, I got my gloves on and I'm ready to do the ceramic coating. I actually have done the whole passenger side and the front bumper already, just to get used to doing it so I can show you guys how it's done. And it's real easy, and it looks fantastic. So you got your three things that you're gonna need here is your UV light, your ceramic coating, and your applicator pad. So first thing I do is I put a little bit on the pad, not too much. Show you guys. Got your pad here. You're gonna just put a little bit on, like a row of it. And then you're gonna put the cap back on, because this stuff dries super fast. So it starts crystallizing at the top of the bottle if you don't put the cap back on each time you use it. So put the cap back on. And you're gonna make a tic-tac-toe pattern basically. So I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna do about a quarter of the hood. 2 by 2 is what they recommend, so I'm gonna start with a quarter. So I'm gonna start here. We're gonna go about to the middle, and then we're gonna come back again and halfway tracing over the line I just made. And one more time. And we're just gonna keep doing that until I get about a quarter of the way. Now I can't really see where I've been, but I'm kind of hoping that I'm pretty much going half over where I just went. But that's what the UV light is for. And now we're gonna go the other direction. Same thing. So crosshatch pattern, back and forth. This is really easy to do. It's not hard. And it comes off it buffs out really easy after you apply it. So don't be afraid of this stuff. It works really great. And the shine already that I can see is absolutely magnificent. And I'm not even done yet. Okay, so I've made that application. I usually have to check with the UV light to see if I missed any spots. And it's not gonna be apparent on camera, but trust me, you can see where you've been with this light. And I can see, with the light that I stopped right here. And I can see, it's pretty obvious with the UV light. So super handy to have that. You can get the kit without it, but I would recommend doing it with it, because it really not only shows you where you've been, but if you put too much on, it kind of looks brighter, and then you can just kind of polish that out or apply a little bit more wet stuff there, and it'll even out. So that looks pretty good. Didn't really miss any spots. So now I'm waiting for it to dry a little bit, and how you can tell that it's drying is you'll see it kind of make a rainbowy look. And you're not gonna be able to see that on camera either, but with your naked eye, you can see it. And you can see that it starts getting the rainbow effect. And when it starts doing that, you're pretty much ready to polish the excess off. So I'm waiting a little bit more time here to see it. And at this angle, it's a little hard to see, but I can kind of see it doing it. And I know from experience that about now it's done. So just going to use this gray rag that they give you and just start polishing it off. At first it's a little sticky. Not really, I wouldn't say sticky, but it has a little bit of resistance at first. And then if you flip it over and come around on that same area again, it's nice and glass smooth. So now I'm going to do the same thing in this row, and you can feel it's just a little kind of sticky-ish. Let that go again, nice and smooth. And same here, and I can kind of see where I ended there. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing nice and smooth. And that's a quarter of our hood. And it looks, you can tell where I've been with the ceramic coating in the light. It looks like glass. Really nice. So I'm going to take the UV light once more, and I'm going to make sure not only that I hit everything, but I want to make sure there's no excess ceramic. And as I said, you can see that with the it's brighter. If it looks all even, you're good. You did a nice job on it. And this one looks pretty good. There's a little something there, but I think that's a little dust nib or something, so that's not one I can do about right now. And it looks pretty good. So that's basically the step. I'm going to move on to the next quarter of the hood. We'll do the rest of the hood. I'll do this side of the car, and then I'll move on to the door jambs and the wheels. But it's coming along. I'm probably about 45 minutes in, and I've got about half the car complete, so maybe another 45 minutes. I would figure about 2 hours to do the car. Take your time, no rush. Maybe a little more than 2.5 hours if I do the wheels and the door jambs too. This seems to be going pretty far. I've only used like a quarter of it, so I think there'll be plenty to do the whole car. And then maybe some left over. So that's it. I'm gonna finish up the car, and when I get done, I'll see you back here. All right, guys, it's done about 4 hours later, but I got it completely finished, and it's absolutely glowing. So let me show you. So the ceramic coat is on, and I also did the door jambs and the wheels as well. And the car just is absolutely stunning right now. So it's got a cure for 24 hours, 12 to 24, I think. So tomorrow at some point, I'll put on the ceramic boost, and if it can actually get more of a shine than it actually has already, I won't complain. But it looks great so far. We'll follow up tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome back to the next day. So the ceramic coating's been on for about 21 hours now. It should be pretty well cured. The recommendation is 12 to 24 hours before you apply this stuff, which is the ceramic boost that they give you. So we're gonna apply that with the microfiber towel that's supplied in the kit and see if it looks any better. All right, let's spray this stuff on. See how it looks. I'm gonna do a quarter at a time. I'm gonna try to ration this too, because if it's like the prep, it's not gonna last really long. Just make the car. Nice smell to it. Let's see if it really makes the car look any better. It's pretty shiny already, so. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looking pretty good so far. So I'm gonna do the rest of the car, and then we'll take a look and see how it looks when it's all set. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, when I was going around with the ceramic boost, I noticed that right around the logo here, and something you want to watch out for if you're doing it yourself, is there was just a little bit of shadowing where probably there was ceramic coating here that I didn't polish off enough. So when you go over this with the ceramic coating, you really have to be careful to go and get this, polish out the ceramic coating everywhere before it completely dries. As I had some along the edge here that didn't dry, and along here that, I mean, didn't dry, but I didn't polish it. So what I had to do is I had to come back today with just a little bit of the compound that I showed you guys, and just lightly buff it out, and it comes right off. But it looks fine now. So just something to note when you're going around these emblems, just make sure you polish off the ceramic very carefully. All right, guys, we got the ceramic boost on. The car's looking really nice, and I used up almost all of this. So I think if I didn't have a glass roof that I didn't have to do, I would have easily went through all of this and pretty much ran out before I finished, more than likely. But it's looking good. The car's looking about as good as it will ever look right now. It's not getting any better than this. This is brand new, ceramic coated, paint protection filmed. It's about as good as it'll ever get. So I'm gonna let it just sit for a few minutes, and then I'll take it out in the sunlight and have a nice video walk around so you can check out how it looks. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. I think the car came out pretty good. Time will tell if it lasts as long as it's supposed to, but I'll keep you posted on that. Hit the like button and subscribe if you like these videos. I'll keep making more, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.